You don't owe them access. And I don't want you to ever think that you do. You don't owe them access because it's time to be in your selfish season. When you were given access, you have to look at and think about where that led you to. And what I mean is when I say them, family, friends, ex-colleagues, ex-lovers, anybody who didn't bring light to your life, anybody who didn't bring anything to your table, anybody that didn't enhance anything. And you might say, well, Kendi, that sounds kind of selfish. But when you weren't selfish, where did that get you? Self-preservation is man's first law. If you don't put anything in your cup, if you don't fill your cup up, then you have nothing else to pour into anybody else. You have nothing else to flow ideas, thoughts, considerations, favors, whatever you're trying to flow to the next individual. You have nothing to get it there with if you don't have nothing fulfilled within you. When I learned to stop giving access to other people, it opened up access more to myself. What do you mean by that? What I mean by that is when I stopped giving so much access to other people, I opened up access to myself by paying attention to my wants, my needs, my thoughts. I can tell what my body needs just by being able to listen to it now, because there's not the outside noise of everybody else's everything. There are some people out there who are the helper in the family, the person who gives the ideas, the person who's going to help with advice, the person who's going to lend a couple of dollars if they got it. And you may just be that person. But when you turn around and you need an idea from someone, you may need advice from someone, you may need to vent from somebody. You might not need anything that big. Where are they? Do they have anything for you? Can they meet you where you're at in the same capacity that you met them? Usually it's a no. And I know because I've been that person for so many in my life. And when I started to focus on myself, when I started to focus on my own ideas, when I started to focus on my own wants and needs, everything started to flourish and started to prosper. And it didn't start to do it like slowly. It started to boom. Now ask yourself, why do you think that is? At some point, you got to be tired of being the answer. Allen Iverson is the only answer. At some point, you have to stop being the answer for other people and learn to be the solution for yourself. Does that make sense? If you're pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring, at some point, you're going to end up empty. Who's going to fulfill you? Who's going to refill you? That's a real question. And if you didn't answer it as soon as I said who's going to refill you with a name, then that means you don't have anybody immediately, any reinforcements immediately. So you need to think about that and consider that and try to focus on enriching yourself. I know we live by titles. I know that's your best friend. I know that's your sister. I know that's your cousin. That's your uncle. I know. I'm aware. But relative doesn't mean family. Relative, relation. Family is love, respect, reciprocity. A family member or a good friend, they're not going to let you be the only one giving. They're not going to allow you to be the only one doing. They're going to want to give to you because they care about you. They care about your well-being. They care about where you're going. They care about your dreams, your thoughts, your ideas. And you'll know if the people around you don't. You have to look at it like this. You are the sum of the 5 closest people to you. Now, if that doesn't look good, then you need to clear that list out. Don't be afraid of having 0 people around you until you have people who are quality people. Always quality over quantity every single time. I'd rather have 1 good bag than 3 fall aparts, 4 knockoffs. So I'm saying all that to say this. Some people are in your life for a reason. Others are in your life for a season. Have discernment enough to know the difference between the two. Have discernment enough to know when it's time to get up from the table, when love is no longer being served. And service yourself. Don't be afraid to service yourself. Don't be afraid to go get what you need and what you want. And don't be afraid to take your cake back. Forget what they told us about being an Indian giver. Withdraw access of yourself if you're not being appreciated. Don't that make sense? It makes perfect sense to me. This is Pretty Wealthy Vision. Now go make dollars out of them cents.